What's going on, you beautiful people? I am the realest Rob. I am a freshman journalism major at Howard University.
Hey y'all, my name is Elizabeth, a freshman political science major at Howard University from PG County, Maryland.
Hi, my name is Madison Robinson. I'm a sophomore English major at Howard University from Atlanta, Georgia.
Hi, I'm Elise Martin, and I'm a media and journalism film major from Atlanta, Georgia.
And I am your host. My name is Brianna Alvarado. I'm a media, film, and journalism major from Orlando, Florida, by way of Long Island, New York. And together, we are
Unpacked,
and Unscripted.
It's okay. So today we're going to be discussing Ice Cube and the contract with Black America, which is essentially like a call for criminal justice reform and police reform and economic justice on behalf of Black America. And he proposed this to both the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. And so here are the facts. The Trump administration agreed to include some of the components of the CWBA, and he agreed to ultimately create more jobs and Black businesses to strengthen the immigration and policing policies. Only one person from the Trump campaign commented on this collaboration, and that being the Trump campaign advisor, Katrina Pearson, who she did thank Ice Cube, and I quote, she said, "Thank you for stepping up for work with Donald Trump." On October 14th, Ice Cube did tweet, "I put out the CWBA, both parties contacted me, and the Dems said we'll add the CWBA after election." But the Trump campaign immediately made some adjustments to the Platinum Plan after talking to us about the CWBA. So my question really is, do you guys think that this will bolster the Trump campaign's position in the presidential race?
I think this might greatly help the Trump campaign because there are a lot of Black people who aren't so sure of who to vote for yet, or they may not be voting because they feel like either candidate is not the best for Black people, especially with Biden's history, with the things that he's called us in the past and the crime bill, and also what Trump's been doing in terms of amplifying races and white supremacist voices. So by him having this course of action that allegedly will help Black people improve in terms of jobs and economic value, this might help him in term like November 3rd in election time. So I think it might, unfortunately.
Yeah, I definitely agree with Robert because, as he said, there are a lot of unsure Black voters in particular, and a lot of them don't feel like, either candidate is for us. And with Trump coming forward with a plan, like an idea that's more than we've had in like the past 4 years, I'm just only skeptical because it's like, why now? It seems kind of manipulative, and I feel like he kind of used Ice Cube in a way to like kind of pull the Black community in a little bit. And I'm kind of disappointed that Ice Cube didn't see this coming because, he's Donald Trump. We know he's a master manipulator. He uses people, he throws them under the bus.
So, this is really, startling to me because Ice Cube understands his position in the Black community. And I understand his point of trying to be in the middle, just doing this for us, despite of what party they align with. But the truth of the matter is you're confusing people. And it's just not a great election. This is such a crucial election to be pulling a stunt like this. And one thing for sure is that Trump is doing this at the end when he has been, the question has been posed to him what he's going to be doing for the Black community, for Black America. And I believe former Vice President Joe Biden and Senator Kamala Harris, they have answered those questions head on. But now the camera's turning towards Trump because of this new plan coming at towards the end of the election. And I also wanted to pose the question, who is this really hurting? Who is all this chaos, this drama? This is what it feels like, drama with all these celebrities going back and forth. Who is this really hurting at the end of the day?
I feel like at most, probably the Black community, because even just this year alone, even with the Obama administration, the Black community has gone through so many hardships, with everything going on in Nigeria, and Congo, and even here in America, George Floyd, Breonna Taylor. We just have a lot to lose right now. Even a lot of working class people have a lot to lose right now. So I think if Trump were to be elected again, it would cause more division within America as a whole, even more than it was before, because he's kind of allowing that to happen. He's provoking it. He's, promoting that. So I just feel like we have a lot to lose as America because we're supposed to be united, and that is not what's happening right now.
I think that if Trump gets reelected, and if this will ultimately affect the Black community if Trump gets elected, simply for the fact that, all right, let's say that he does implement the platinum plan for Black Americans, and then generally it just says that it's going to give us more jobs and more money, but you have to realize, like, who will we be working for? What jobs will we have? You know what I'm saying? Because if you look and see who funds the Republican and the GOP in general, it's typically oil companies and big defense companies that work with like the military and stuff like that. So either, a lot of us are going to end up going to the military, which is this country really worth dying for, is up to you. How will they deal with that? And if you work for oil companies and do stuff like fracking, you might get money, you might have a job, but ultimately your health is at risk. For instance, there's this thing called Cancer Alley, which is a space between Baton Rouge and New Orleans where cancer rates are extremely high. We all know about 4 or 5 people who had cancer, even died from cancer. And it's cool to have those jobs and it's cool to have that money, but at what expense? Because you're going to be going to these hospitals to get checked because you're going to get sick, you're going to have cancer. And if they take away Obamacare, which services 20 million people, and these people don't have the proper insurance to take care of themselves, how will they deal with that?
I just think that this is really going to mostly affect, it's going to affect Black people, but especially if we really look into it, the Black working class, because they've been the ones, especially this past year, taken a lot of the hits. They've been, not to say that all the Black community hasn't been on the streets and fighting, but a lot of what is happening does affect those communities a lot more so than like people who are like in the upper class and Black, or people who are in like the middle class and Black. And so I feel like it's just going to be a lot more heavy hitting if he gets reelected. And we have to sit down and really think about who is going to help us. And even if you don't trust either side, think about which side is going to cause more damage and more hurt.
No, absolutely. When we think about, the cost of in any situation, we're usually talking about our communities, us. And that, I feel like that directly translates into the Republican, side, Trump's campaign strategy. And they're basically using Black people as, a pawn to, catapult that reelection. Because I mean, if you guys remember when I was talking about the tweet that Trump's campaign advisor put out and basically thanking Ice Cube for agreeing to work with Donald Trump. And I think that's important to know also because they oftentimes try to tell us like, oh, if you decide to work with us, you're an independent thinker. And I think that's pretty ridiculous to try to also use Ice Cube, Kanye, other Black celebrities to push that idea forth. It just kind of bothers me to like see that in action also when we're thinking about, who is this hurting and who are you using at the same time,
How do y'all feel about the Democrats on this side? Like, they had the same opportunity the Trump administration had to answer this question and to work with Ice Cube and be like, yeah, we have a plan too. But obviously they rejected it for some reason. And, now they're all of a sudden, on a debate last night, now they want to talk about a plan, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, why didn't they highlight the plan when Ice Cube, one of the more influential Black people in America as of right now, ask, hey, do you have a Black agenda and can I help with that? Like that makes no sense to me. They completely dropped the ball with that. And I think that's going to really hurt them in the election.
I truly hate to be this person, but I feel like there is no real party for Black people. We definitely just have to do what the lesser of both evils at this point. I think because Trump started to get a little more. Biden was like, okay, well, if he's coming up with a plan, I need to come up with a plan too. Especially since I have a Black and South Asian vice president. Like, I guess they might have thought that we inferred that they would have a plan just because he has Kamala on his side. It was pretty lazy on their part to not come up with a plan at all, because especially with all this unrest, that should have been the first thing that he came up with. The coronavirus plan and a Black agenda, that was definitely something that he should have been working on. And I'm not gonna lie, Biden definitely slacked on that one, because I feel like a lot of people are very vulnerable right now. And like Robert said, it's a lot of ignorance, and they will vote for Trump, or worse, not vote at all and lead to Trump winning.
Yeah, no, for sure. Because I kind of feel like, tagging on to what you're saying, Elise, the Democratic Party is a little comfortable, a little too comfortable this election, with the idea that, people of color, Black people, women are already on their side. We got this. But you need to vocalize that. I think they need to be more vocal about, hey, what we're doing for you. Because, I mean, obviously Trump is on that right now. So it's a topic of discussion, like you said, with the civil unrest and the disproportionate effect that the coronavirus had on Black Americans in particular. I feel like there needs to be more talk about that from the Democratic side. Absolutely.